Good evening. There's been a cracking start to the new Premiership season, and it's already been underlined that to get results, it helps to buy big. This costs £6 million. And world football's most expensive purchase for 3 years can do this. Tonight, we'll be watching the £7 million man, Dennis Bergkamp, as he and Arsenal take on the difficult-to-beat Everton at Goodison. Commentary also from Old Trafford, with Manchester United out to prove the doubters wrong against West Ham. There are goals from other matches in our roundup, plus the views of Alan Hansen. Now, before we bring you the Everton-Arsenal game, a reminder of how Arsenal were held in their opening match on Sunday as a result of a goal from another of the close season's big signings.
Robbie Mustoe nicks it inside. Bergkamp to Fjortoft. Great little touch. Barnby! He scored! The ex-Tottenham man has stunned Highbury. Borough's £5.25 million has an early return. Dixon's throw. That's an awkward bounce. Parlour into right. Oh, he's still the best at that. It's 1-1.
Well, now tonight's match at Goodison. Everton began the new campaign by drawing at Chelsea. Arsenal had that 1-1 result with Middlesbrough. The commentator, Barry Davis.
Opening night of the season at Goodison Park. And a very warm welcome for the home team in particular. And a few moments before the teams arrived, a chance for the faithful to savour recent success. The FA Cup, the Charity Shield, and indeed the Veterans Cup, carried by old favourite Dave Hickson, being presented to the crowd. He, along with Vinnie Samways and here Graham Stewart with the FA Cup, the man who hit the crossbar before Paul Rideout scored. And more hopeful signs for the future in the presence of Andrei Kanchelskis sitting on the bench. He's listed among the players in the programme. The transfer completion is imminent after much burning of midnight oil. Both the lineups are unchanged from opening draws, but it's a very positive start at home by Joe Royle, who, to the team who drew 0-0 at Chelsea, he's added 3 outfield players as his substitutes: Amakachi, Barlow and Grant. Arsenal continue with their former Everton player Martin Keown as anchor in midfield. Ian Wright predictably was their scorer against Middlesbrough, and Joe Royle reckons he's their best signing of all time. And there's no doubt that an early goal from Dennis Bergkamp in the season, or from the England captain David Platt, will help to settle a few nerves among Arsenal supporters.
Number 10, Barry Hall.
Man in charge is Keith Burge from Tony Pandy in Mid Glamorgan. Everton playing right to left. Keown for Arsenal giving an early touch to his goalkeeper David Seaman. Unsworth winning the first challenge with Wright, in spite of a little hug around the neck, and the free kick given against Ian Wright. Well on Keown. Bergkamp immediately the return, but too long. Unsworth very much the favourite. Wasn't interfering with play. Right, so this is Bergkamp. Few boos from the crowd, but that is the way that the offside law is being applied. Not involved in any way, and Bergkamp allowed to go on. An untidy challenge by Unsworth, who was caught out by it. Again, some arm linking. by Bold. Kick is Arsenal's, quickly taken. Beautifully won by Joe Parkinson, and not a bad try by Paul Rideout. Seaman had to adjust a little bit. Paul was won so well here by Parkinson. And Seaman had wandered a bit and suddenly comes back to cover up to his left. Horn. Limpar. Barrett on the overlap, everybody else the other way. Limpar. Watson. Merson. Winterburn. Give room for that turn. Quick feet from Unsworth and then didn't clear the ball. He was helped by the slip from Parler. Parler again. It was the right choice to go for the snapshot. But just look at Southall's positioning here. It does rain in England. There is proof of the fact. For the challenge on Keown. Keown now going forward, nice touch, right. Parler. Goal kick. What might have happened if Parler had been more prepared to be further forward at the start of this. Well watched by Bold. Out on the wrong side, Ferguson. No hesitation, look up, left foot shot. That's not a bad try. Crowd at the other end thought it was in. Paul Rideout. On by Ferguson. Really good attempt, Seaman backpedaling. Dixon. Wins a lot, this Barry Hall. Arsenal throw. Time now for the cross. With 5 waiting in the area. It was really a letdown by Dixon. Seen by Adams, Bergkamp. Adams, real chance here. Good improvisation by the goalkeeper. Didn't run absolutely kindly for Adams, but Neville Southall showing presence of mind. Won it like a defender. Not in the textbook, but for him it works. Right. Free kick against Unsworth. Referee is just going to talk to the linesman. confirmation about what he'd seen, presumably. Bowl trying to find some space. Platt! How did that stay out? Well, he was certainly unlucky. Merson who took. Platt is unmarked, straight back off the crossbar. Recovery by Winterburn, but more to do yet. Proved that he has the shot from distance, probably doesn't use it as much as he should, but David Seaman all the way behind that. And David Platt is the one who's come nearest. This is how it looked from behind the goal. It's open for him. Off the face. It was a fine header, he was just dead unlucky. Hinchcliffe again to curl it with his left. Really flicked in with pace. But the score sheet is blank at half-time. Paul Rideout coming nearest for Everton with the overhead kick, which had David Seaman scurrying to see the ball go past the post. But David Platt actually beat Neville Southall and was denied by the crossbar. So it's 0-0 at half-time. This fixture has finished as a draw for the last 3 seasons, 2 1-1s and a 0-0. 45 minutes to change the trend. The best clearance to start the second half. Joe Royal now down next to Willie Donachie. The Everton supporters had to wait until League Match 13 before a success last year. Keown. 3 in the middle. Out comes Unsworth. Father looks at the referee as he gets up. Winterburn. Right. And Wright and Merson not on each other's wavelength. And that has been rather the case with a number of the combinations of Bruce Rioch's team. New manager, 2 different players trying to change the style. It's going to take time. Wright. Turned into the challenge. Ferguson, and a push or handball. Both sides are appealing. Dixon said he was pushed. Everton players feel that it was a handball. But the free kick is to Arsenal. Limpar's high curling cross. Free kick against Ferguson, pushing down. And thereby, presumably, causing Dixon's arms to go up. Winterberg. He's made a bit of space, which is well closed down by the immaculate Parkinson. Foul by Keown. Gets a little warning, I think, from the referee. Has already been booked, Martin Keown. Taken quickly to right out. He was given time to get it under control, but has little support. Lee Dixon was quick to state his case, and the referee concurred. Merson left, Pardo right, and Bergkamp down the middle. Platt and Keown to come from behind there, but whatever the permutation, it's still not working for Arsenal. Good backtracking by Parlour. Now it's 2 up and 4 in midfield. Bergkamp, good running by Platt. Now referee. No penalty. Well, the question is, did he play the ball or did he play the man? Intent is no longer in law 12. It was the best pass that Bergkamp has played. And he won the ball is the answer. It was an excellent challenge by Barry Horn.
And the substitution for Everton, Stuart Barlow for Andy Hinchcliffe.
Stuart Barlow, the first substitute to be used in place of Andy Hinchcliffe. Was suspended on the match at Stamford Bridge, carrying over from last season. Extra attacker. And here he is immediately in the action. Whistle gone because the flag was up. Well, Lee Dixon was involved in the other incident where the Everton supporters thought there should have been a penalty. And again, a look from this angle. Well, suggests the referee got them both absolutely right. Bergkamp and Unsworth. The Dutchman still not enjoying his start in Premiership football. That's an interesting cross though. That was well reached by Barrett. Here's Winterburn. Hard work came from Rideout. Tried to hold it up a bit for Barlow. Well, Barrett did well with that flat cross across the 6-yard area. Parkinson. Parlour. Yeah. 1 by Bergkamp. Right. Merson wants it square. Platt in the box. Parlour. Bergkamp. It's the first chance he's had. And unfortunately for him, he got underneath it too much, and by quite a lot. Came off the outside of the boot a bit as well, I suspect. Barlow. Played Adams, free kick. Grown from the crowd, but leapfrog isn't normally in the game. Parlour. Bergkamp. Lack of effort from the Dutchman. quite coming up for him, although he was involved in the best move of the game. Past the Platt, which ended with a fine challenge by Hall. It was the best piece of football all through. Dixon. Right. Beaten to it by Watson. Keown. Bergkamp. This wouldn't sit. Ferguson and Platt, and Ferguson gets the cross. Did well, the Scotsman, but no one to capitalise. Needed to be on the end of his own cross. Away by Dixon. Offside against Ablett. Ferguson. Turn. Hold on to it well too. Ablett. Chase ball down the middle. Handball by Enright. Referee would like a passing word. Useful, Platt, and still. That's one for David Platt, which will delight them as much as it will delight him. Big smile on his face, and there are many mirror images. Merson, who gets his congratulations for the ball through. Diagonal run that split the defence. And Arsenal lead. Sparing attempt by Southall. That scores for Arsenal. Well, last season, 1-0. It would be a case of close-up shop. What this time around? Bergkamp curls for right. Too much pace on it. Wright says, why did you play it so wide? He was expecting more curl on it, I think, Bergkamp. Good truthful, so was I. Ferguson wins in the air again, right out. McCatchy moved away to try and make the space. And here is Amakachi. Good stop. Disappointment for the majority in a crowd of 35,771. Roll off his chest. Good stop, Seaman. Amakachi. Watson. Parkinson. Barrett. Again, massed ranks of red-shirted Arsenal. Long throw from Barlow. Winterburn in the way, really. Header was from Watson. The chance came early for Amakachi. Looked almost as though it rolled off his arm then, but he got the shot in, but no real venom in it. Ferguson. Amakachi goes forward. Space is left side, filled by Ablett. Amakachi. Ablett. Ferguson! Would have looked very good, but he couldn't get it right. Switch from side to side.
Please go to the reception in Goodison Road immediately, please. Daniel and Nicholas
Crushed the head of Adams. And he just couldn't keep control of what he wanted to do.
Thank you.
Good game though, Duncan Ferguson. Barrett. Everton have certainly had the greater possession. Feeling at the start when they were well on top, but they might have needed a goal then. And well proved to have been a correct one. Barlow, Amakachi, Barlow, bit square, trying to dig it out, Barlow. All a bit too tight. Went for the shot, they were too wide, but a pass there might well have been cut out. Bergkamp. Right starts to go, and Bergkamp finds him. Right, it's two. Well, they got it right together for the first time, and Arsenal can celebrate the victory. Just need Bergkamp to add a third, and their night would be complete. Second goal of the season for Ian Wright. Found by Bergkamp. Everton have pushed so many forward. Unsworth dared not make the challenge. Had a chance there, but after that it was all over. Keown stumbles away, actually and metaphorically. Made a complete mess of this, and Amakachi snapped at it and was well wide. Start for Arsenal. A first goal for David Platt. An important pass from the Dutchman Dennis Bergkamp, which set up the second goal for Ian Wright. There's a lot still to be done, to be sorted out, but if you can win while that's happening, then you're not doing too badly. Disappointment for Everton, who had opportunities early on, but start their campaign again at Goodison Park without the victory bonus, beaten 2-0. Final score, Everton 0, Arsenal 2.
If we've had a failing in the two games, we've been a little bit shot shy and short in the finishing department. But, I mean, they'll be pleased, and rightly so. It's a great smash and grab kind of performance from a very established back four who are rock solid throughout, and the little fella up front who quite honestly is still amongst the best in the business for me.
Expectations, I think, for all the big clubs are enormous, and you have to live with those expectations. And you know, we began the fixtures on Sunday against Middlesbrough, and it was always going to be a tough fixture for us. And whilst we're disappointed not to have won that game, we've managed to get a point and get on the chart, so to speak. And we've come to Everton, a team that's already won a trophy this year, won a trophy at the end of last year, and we knew tonight's game was going to be a very, very difficult game for us. But we have some great qualities in the club.
At the end of the day, we've gone in and we've won the game. We've had one or two chances first half, gone in 0-0 at half-time, battled very well. Because you come in here, and make no bones about it, to come to Goodison Park on their first home game of the season is a very good result for us.
The victory was built first and foremost on that sound defence once again, Arsenal, wasn't it?
Well, rock solid back four and goalkeeper. I thought that Tony Adams was the best player on the pitch. And he had to be in the first half because Everton were on top. But, as you say, rock solid back four, and that's the foundation of the success.
Now, all eyes on Bergkamp and Platt, the new signings. I think it's fair to say they didn't get star ratings in the first match on Sunday. But what about today? Obviously, that terrific goal for Platt. But first of all, Bergkamp, how is he settling in, do you think?
I thought he was poor in the first half. You know, you've got to play it into his feet. He's a quality player when it's pass and move. When Merson was on the ball, you always thought he was going to find his feet. But too often the ball was up in the air. That's not his game. As I say, you've got to get into his feet. And when the chances came in the second half, they came from Bergkamp because there was time and space to play. He got it on the deck and he passed it. And that's what his great attribute is.
Gradually settling in. Now, Platt, a typical goal from him.
Well, in the first half, I thought that he was hustled out of it. You know, he kept on getting caught in possession, and he wasn't getting in the box, although he did hit the bar with a header. But his great attribute and strength is running from deep, from these deep positions, and there's an art in that because you've got to know where to go and when to go, and he's a master at it. And he showed on a couple of occasions that, you know, he gets in the right position. This is a long ball from Seaman, and we've circled Platt here and Barry Horn because it's Horn that challenges Platt in the box. Watson gets up, eventually breaks at Bergkamp, who's just got a little bit of space. He's got his feet, great ball round the corner. Platt gets into the box, but Horn comes round. A wonderful challenge, no penalty kick. Good run from Platt and great challenge from Horn. This is a goal, again Everton attack, and we see Platt in basically a defensive position. And when it comes out to Merson on the left-hand side of the pitch, again Platt knows exactly where to go and when to go. And what Merson does well here, of course, is he holds it up, and instead of just punting it forward, he looks for people. Great in the ball, he comes inside Barrett, shows a little bit of strength, comes inside again. Platt's on his way, it's through, he's in the box, round Southall, keeps a cool head, 1-0 and the game's over. Thanks. But, you know, I just thought in the first half the two of them were anonymous, and probably Arsenal can't afford that. You know, if they're going to win the championship, then when things aren't going that well, they're going to have to get more at the two of them.
Thank you. Well, sad news today that former Everton manager Johnny Carey has died aged 76. Carey won fame as a player for Manchester United, making more than 300 appearances and captaining their 1948 FA Cup winning side. He also won caps for both Northern Ireland and the Republic and was voted Footballer of the Year in 1949. Now, of course, Manchester United had that unhappy start at Villa Park on Saturday, their team devoid of so many famous names. Tonight it was back to Old Trafford, at the moment under reconstruction, to face West Ham. United had Bruce back in defence after suspension. Contrary to expectations, Andy Cole didn't start the match. He was on the bench. Martin Allen returned to the West Ham side. And the commentator is Clive Tilsley.
This is Ian Bishop. John Moncur. It was worth a go. It bounced awkwardly in front of Schmeichel. Never really had the pace that was likely to defeat the Manchester United goalkeeper, but he might just have got a ricochet off his chest. was a West Ham player following in just in case. Well cleared by Schmeichel, not so well controlled by Sharp though. Run by Breaker and knocked in quickly, and Schmeichel's off his line. And just for a moment, Martin Allen thought he'd pulled it off. Wasn't too far away. It was a bad mistake by Lee Sharp, which gave him the opportunity. Schmeichel was still on his way back. And Allen got it over the goalkeeper, but just over the crossbar. It actually caught the top of the rigging on its way for a goal kick. Really good attempt by Allen. Plenty for Alex Ferguson to ponder in the opening days of the season. Sharp forced wide as far as Irwin, now Scholes. He's brought a little bit of space and time for himself. Took a deflection, might come here for Roy Keane. Costco stranded. Breaker to the rescue. Keane was lurking with menace, and the ball almost dropped for him. Ludet McCloskey almost found himself in an impossible position. Cross from Beckham. Breaker away. Sharp down. This is Irwin. And now Scholes. And here goes Irwin again. Important challenge by Reaper. Still Irwin. Now Scholes. Normal service is resumed at last. A goal for Manchester United from Paul Scholes with less than 5 minutes of the second half gone. And it took one of their most experienced players, Dennis Irwin, to come forward and set an example to the youngsters around him. Forced the ball not once but twice across the face of goal, and Scholes was on hand to sweep it in. Bishop to Moncur. A little bit of space here for Allen. Didn't really make the most of it. Didn't get another chance. Moncur. Oh, across dangerously. Bruce tried to turn it away, and it's gone in for an own goal. And West Ham United are level. The Manchester United lead lasted barely 5 minutes. Nicely struck pass for Scholes. Neville making the overlapping run. Beckham. But into Sharp. It'll come for Keane. It's gone. Manchester United back in front through Roy Keane. A roar of relief as much as anything inside Old Trafford. Returning it well. Ooh, and that was a dangerous challenge by Bugash on Neville. Frustration showing. And now spilling over into a reaction. Manchester United had kept the ball very cleverly and very effectively, and Bruce and Allen, it's a red card. And that's why Marco Bugash frustrated on the substitutes bench for most of the evening, and then finding Manchester United's possession play in the closing stages a little bit too much to take.
It was a rash challenge, and he got what he deserved. He got sent off. It was a late challenge. He dived in, but that's not in the boy's nature. He's not that type of lad at all. It was a clumsy challenge from a centre forward. Really, he was not an aggressive player.
It's a good result for us. Like a lot of teams that come to Old Trafford over the last few years, play 5 midfield and make it very difficult for you. And although we had some good moments in the first half, it wasn't until the second half where we really persisted in their passing, wore them down, and I think we've won comfortable in the end.
Confirmation of tonight's results now. Coventry 2, Manchester City 1, Everton 0, Arsenal 2, Manchester United 2, West Ham 1, as seen. Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0, Wimbledon 3, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Blackburn 1, and Tottenham Hotspur 0, Aston Villa 1. Newcastle top the table with Wimbledon second, 2 of 4 teams who have 100% records after 2 games. And 4 teams at the bottom with no points yet, but Southampton have played just 1 game so far. Now, Rangers progressed into the European Cup Champions League tonight with a goalless draw in Cyprus against Famagusta. The Scottish champions go through 1-0 on aggregate. But Paul Gascoigne limped off in the first half with a groin injury and could miss Saturday's league opener against Kilmarnock. Well, now our roundup of other games, starting with that stunning goal for Leeds United on Monday.
Both Leeds and Liverpool had run out at Elland Road with opening Saturday victories under their belts, and many eyes were focused on the strikers who had scored match-winning goals, Tony Yeboah and Stan Collymore.
Collymore, rush, that's nice. Here goes Collymore, McManaman in the middle, but John Pemberton doesn't lack for pace either. It was a hefty challenge, as Collymore himself will testify. He's still down, and one that Pemberton couldn't afford to miss time, but he got across there and, well, he did mistime it. That's a foul in my book, and to add insult to Collymore's injury, there wasn't so much as a penalty appeal, let alone a penalty award. And no wonder Howard Wilkinson has been gushing praise for what Yeboah has given Leeds United. It's so easy to miss time. His whole body clock seems to slow down as he strikes. Even when he blasts it, his foot just seems to stroke through the ball. And that sort of finishing can be the difference in this sort of game.
After a 15-year gap, top-flight football returned to Burnden Park. But on the back of their defeat at Wimbledon on Saturday, promoted Bolton discovered that Newcastle have quickly slipped into their stride.
Ginola being tightly marked, whips in a good cross. Oh, Ferdinand! How did he get to that? A defender in front, another in his back pocket, still he was the tallest. Bolton would desperately like an early response in the second half. Oh, they've got it! Goodley Bergson, it's 1-1. And it's no more than Bolton deserve. Gillespie slips in behind the defenders, they're all turned. Lee in space, easy! 2-1 Newcastle. Again, Newcastle breaking up a promising Bolton attack. Here's Ferdinand, got the scent of goal. A real fist of defenders. Oh, but he slipped right through them. Ferdinand, brilliant! His 3rd goal in his 2nd game from the £6 million man, and they think it's a bargain.
And from tonight's games, well, a great start to the season for Wimbledon, who were on song at Loftus Road. They took advantage of an assist from Rangers defender Rufus Brevitt, who stumbled over the ball. That allowed Dean Holdsworth to set up Norwegian striker Leonardsen just on the half-hour mark. And more trouble for Rangers 11 minutes into the second half. They were missing chances, and they allowed Holdsworth into position to score a second. The customary clinical finish. But the evening was to end on a low for the Wimbledon striker, who scored in Saturday's win over Bolton. Only minutes after scoring, he got involved in a skirmish just outside the penalty area with Danny Maddox and a host of other players. The end result, a second yellow card for Holdsworth, followed by the red one, of course. But the result was going Wimbledon's way. 6 minutes remained when the Dons caught out the Rangers' defence for a 3rd time. John Goodman rubber-stamped what is a convincing start to the season for Wimbledon. 2 wins from 2 matches. There was a Coventry debut for Brazilian Marques Isaias at Highfield Road tonight, and he helped the side take the game to Manchester City. And an opening goal for his new club from Paul Telfer, signed from Luton in the summer, came after 12 minutes. The lead was held till 8 minutes from time, but having already missed a great chance to equalise, Uwe Rosler, the player who salvaged the point for City on Saturday, headed in another vital goal for his side. This cross from Nicky Summerby. But having lost on Saturday, Coventry fans were settling for their first point of the season when their first victory suddenly arrived. A great cross from John Solarco, and Dion Dublin was back in the old routine with a match-winning header.
Champions Blackburn had a miserable night at Hillsborough, although there was a slice of luck about Wednesday's first goal after 18 minutes. Chris Waddle's intended cross from the right, missed by everyone. Tim Flowers left flat-footed as it curled inside the post. Alan Shearer had scored with a penalty on Saturday to beat QPR 1-0, and he equalised for Blackburn after 60 minutes. A typical finish after the England centre-forward had been neatly teed up. But it was Wednesday's £900,000 summer signing from Derby County, Mark Pembridge, who clinched the points. His first goal in the 82nd minute, a volley from just 6 yards. And there was worse to come for Blackburn. Substitute Mark Atkins had only been on the field 4 minutes when he was sent off for what he'd said to a linesman, and that red card following Tim Flowers' dismissal on Saturday.
Sorry we couldn't bring you Aston Villa's goal at Tottenham tonight, scored by Ehiog, but you'll see it in a comprehensive roundup in Football Focus on Saturday. Well, that's it from us, but coming right up is Match of the 70s, different haircuts, but quite a few of the same commentators. Good night.